How do, folks? How do? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It is time for a brand new video. Daniel Farke has responded to the speculation about his job. We'll get into those comments as well today. And this is also the match preview. I'm not going to lie. I'm not doing a separate video for this one. We're going to do the match preview, lineups, and score predictions in this very video, okay? So unless something of real importance comes up over the weekend, or if I have a thought about a player or two, I will come back, but this is the preview. I've already set up the match reaction, so that is available too if you want to click the reminders to join me after the game on Monday. But I hope everyone's doing well, feeling good, smelling good, all that good stuff. Before I get into it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, drop your thoughts below in the comment section. Thank you to Parrot House, Russ, and Augie. Big up to you, Augie, man. That was a real nice donation. Thank you so much. The super chats and super thanks go a long way for me and the channel. But yeah, just shows that I'm doing a good job, and I appreciate that. So big up to you, Augie, and everybody else, Russ as well. What's everyone saying here? Okay, so got some Farke chat. I do have a poll in the chat. And please, if I forget by the time this stream finishes, remind me to get the poll results so I can put it on the stream. I always forget the poll stuff, even though I set one up pretty much every live stream. But you know what I mean? Jalen here saying, now that was a press conference. It was long. It was very long, but yeah. Damar in the house saying we all need a team of Cage Visions. A lot of people would disagree, Damar, but thank you for that. Thank you. Gavin here saying, big up, KG, how are you? I'm real good, Gavin, man. Went to see Sinners today. I know a few of you, love your movies and stuff. Sinners was absolutely brilliant, man. Pure 5 stars from me. I would say go see it. I think Dave Meltzer would give it 3 stars, 5 stars if it was in the Tokyo Dome. If you know, you know. Katrina saying here, if they sack Farke, I for one will not be happy. Mike saying, I thought it was a good presser today. Yeah, it was fine. The only thing with today's presser, though, and I can't really give you answers, I don't think there was any team news today. I don't know if Rothwell's going to be back, I may have missed it, but there was just a lot talking about the future. And to be fair, rightly so, in terms of just what's going on ahead. Because now, even though everyone wants to enjoy the moment, and I'm the same, everyone can't help but think, okay, well, what's next now? What's going on with the Premier League? And especially in light of the report that came out. And we'll get into that in the comments as well. Uncle Dave, as Jim Cornett would call him. Tremendous, tremendous. Jim Jam here saying, what's up, KG lad? It's been a minute since I caught you live. Yeah, man. Nice to see everyone in the chat, man. It's all good, man. Damar saying here, would be good to see Harry Gray up top. I was trying to put him in my lineup today, but unfortunately, he doesn't have a render yet, so I can't put him in there. But I hear what you're saying. Not too much change, but Harry Gray with a start. I'd love to see at home against Bristol City. Not going to lie, as well, people, I had to keep looking up who we're playing Monday. It keeps on slipping my mind. I'm guilty of it, but I'm just trying to get past these 2 games and then look towards the summer. But you know what? It's all good. F.E. White saying here, thought Farke handled the presser confidently. I do too, F.E. White. I thought in the circumstances it's under, I think he handled it very well from his side, and we'll get into what he was, what he said for if ownership should come out. But from his side and from his point of view, I think he handled it very well, because I can imagine a couple of other managers not doing so well after they've just been promoted, and then all of a sudden seeing a massive report that's literally gone everywhere, people. It's not just in England, America, across the globe is covering it, talking about who's going to be, in charge of Leeds United next season. It's a massive news story, So Jive here, fancy putting Melee in your team, KG? No, I'll put him somewhere though, Jive, but it won't be in the team. One of those. Lewis here saying, Passion Merchant say we owe loyalty to Farke. They would rather stay in the Championship, I swear. You know what it is though, Lewis? I don't think it's just Passion Merchants, because I've seen a whole variety of answers when it comes to this week. And it's from people that, when I look through their comments, are quite, sensible and deep thinkers. And they just genuinely think that he could do better in the Premier League if he's properly backed and everything else like that. So it isn't just Passion Merchants. Maybe those people that are literally Daniel Farke fans, first before Leeds United are saying we need to keep him. My thing is, the only thing I've had a problem with the report, and problems are a strong word, but it's the timing. The timing of it's terrible. Like, we shouldn't have been talking about any of this week. It was unneeded. It was unnecessary. It could have waited. For me, if it comes out after the game 46 of the season, fine. fair play. It's absolute fair game then, because we're now trying to prepare for an assault on the Premier League. That's all fair to me. But with 2 games to go, it's a little bit shady to me. Little bit. People say classless. I just think it's just badly with self-awareness that you shouldn't do it 2 games before the season's finished. But it's all good, man. It's all good now. We just got to move on with it now. Yeah, timing was bad, absolutely. So let's get into the press conference. A lot of you were impressed with Danny Farke, and I agree. I absolutely agree. Noel here saying, give the chance, but be sure your backup plan is a good one. Well, the thing is, Noel, if they are to replace him, let me just say this before we get into the comments. They need to, because there's some things that he said in this press conference where I thought, I've heard this before from a manager, and I wish for the life of me, people, I can remember who it was. But another manager was talking about that he was talking with the chairman about signings in the summer, and he literally got sacked like 3 days later, and the next day a new manager was in. And I'm not saying that's going to happen to Daniel Farke, but I'm saying if they are going to get rid of him, we cannot be waiting a week for the next appointment. They're going to have to get in the next guy the next day. It's as simple as that. You cannot have Daniel Farke sacked and leave a gap. It will just think about the uproar it's going to cause anyway. If he was to be sacked, you leave it a while, it's just going to be absolutely wild and mad. And it's bad preparation as well. It's not a very good start towards your Premier League campaign that you're hoping to stay up and impress. Mark saying here, horrible timing. Maybe the journalist is a Burnley fan. I don't know who he supports, but one thing I'd say, a lot of people keep talking about it's the Daily Mail. And listen, I'm not a Daily Mail fan. I mean, they're one of the worst, papers when it comes to people like me in particular. But what I've tried to reiterate to people is that the 49ers, there's arms everywhere of the 49ers. They're investors. Like they could have a contact in America that we've never even heard of, a silent investor. And the Daily Mail have had exclusives that have been true since the 49ers have come in. And that is why you have to take that kind of report with a little bit of grain of truth. Like there must be a little bit of smoke there. Otherwise, why come out with it? The only people talk about it doesn't happen to Burnley. The only thing that's happened with Burnley is that it's been reported that Tottenham are looking at Scott Parker to take as their head coach if they sack Big Ange in the summer. So it has happened to another team. It isn't just exclusive to Leeds United. So that's what I would say. Thomas Frank has been at Brentford for too long. Yeah, I like Thomas Frank, man. Just have to not watch him chew gum. But listen, let's get into this one. Let's get into some of the comments then. Danny Farke just talking about celebrating promotion. It's important once you achieve something special, you value it and celebrate it, or you ask yourself one day, why are you making all these sacrifices? Tuesday's celebration was ongoing. Wednesday was off. Yesterday, a day after, cleared the head with rest. So the players and Danny Farke have had a few days to enjoy. Thankfully, we don't have to wait too long now. It's the game's on Monday. So I completely agree. They should have had the time that they've had to celebrate. It is an amazing achievement to do it, and just get it out of the way, not leave to the final day. Because that's another thing as well. What I was really worried about is that this goes down to the final day. No one wants that. And now we've done it with 2 games to go. They deserve to celebrate for sure. And he was asked this as well, which I thought was interesting. He was asked about the championship trophy. Now, I've got to say, I think that he's just probably protecting the players a little bit here with this answer, but he did say this: we have finished the job. There's no advantage at Premier League level by winning the trophy. Big challenge was bringing them back. If it was easy, it would have been done many more times in 25 years. We've played the best season in the history of the club. And there is truth to that, because I've often said that as well. At the start of the season, I said, it doesn't matter if you finish first or second. It's about what you do next. But I think Danny Farke would like the trophy. He's spoken about it previously, about Norwich winning it and everything else. I think he's just trying to just take the pressure off the last 2 games, off the players. And if we don't get it, we don't get it. The most important thing is the Premier League next. Tim, how much do you think Thomas Frank would cost us? This is another thing as well. People keep asking who's available. This week, people, I've seen names out there that I didn't know were available because I haven't been looking. Okay, and it's as simple as that. I haven't been looking, but there are some good coaches out there. And that is why when you even like Tim's example here, even if you have to pay compensation to a club, there's no better time to do it in the summer. That you do it then, you negotiate a fee, get them in, and you go from there. But there are a lot of good coaches available, and there was one link that, and like I said in the video yesterday, I was going to do a video on it, but again, the timing fell off, man. And if something don't sit right with me, I'm not going to do it. No matter what the YouTube algorithm should say, I should bang out a video, probably get a few more views than usual. If it don't sit right with me, I'm not going to do it. And it's just as simple as that. So I didn't do it, but there's some real good coaches out there available, which I think is why the report has also come up as well. But yeah, going back to this, let's go with more comments. Yeah, we'll try to finish as strong as possible. Whatever happens, we've already treated something historical. To win the title, especially for those who have not done it before, is very special. It would be a well-deserved reward. And then this is it in regards to his job. Mike is saying also had the most expensive championship team we ever had. Yep. This in regards to Daniel Farke's job, because he was asked about it, which I thought it might have been like banned question, embargo questions, but fair enough. They came out with it. No, it's not job. No job speculation is not surprising because I knew which club I signed for. It's a good effort if you last for 3 months here. There is lots of pressure and noise here. It's nothing I would not expect. Journalists that never hear, they want to write about Leeds. And again, he talked about it's an emotional club, it's a big club and everything else like that. But yeah, he's saying that he's not surprised that there is speculation. And then there was a bit more on that as well. From today, I'm preparing we achieve the next step in what we want to make out of this club. This has all my focus. I have no time or energy for gossip. I have a trusting relationship with Parag. I spoke with him last night and a few things we want to do in the future. It lasted a while until I said, hi, yes, what? Yes to Leeds. Okay, yeah, it was not an easy decision for me to go back to the championship. For no other club, I would have gone back there. Now let's stay here because this is interesting, because that quote that Parag said has been making rounds again, and he was asked about it in this press conference as well, where Parag, when he first appointed Daniel Farke, said it's a 2-year thing and we believe in Daniel and he has never had the backing in the Premier League and he deserves that opportunity. What I want to say in regards to that is I can't believe people are holding that as something where you say, no, see, you said it 2 years ago, you've got to stick with it. Guys, a lot of things change in 2 years. A lot of things change. And there could be things where the 49ers board as a collective have looked at things and gone, wait a minute, this didn't seem right here. Or I've got a doubt about this going forward, because in this game, it should have been a lot easier and he didn't make changes here and there. There's a lot of things can change. And I just go back to regular, human stuff, everyday stuff. You could be in a job somewhere and think, you know what, in 5 years, I want to be a manager there. But by 2 years in, you're like, this isn't what it was cracked up to be. I'm going to leave. Plans change all the time. So I do not hold Parag to what he said 2 years ago. With all the good intention and will, he probably thought Daniel is the man from what he's done previously. And by all accounts, he wasn't backed at Norwich. But as I've said before, you do have to look under the hood, because I was watching those games in the Prem. For the people that didn't watch the games and are just going on what he spent, you're not looking at the full picture. It's got to be a tactical plan. And there wasn't one. Ben Gumfrey was running back, blowing for his life. Couldn't believe it. Whoa. Not blowing, but like running back because he was on a high line. Max Aaron's stock just plummeted. Max Aaron's was linked with Barcelona at one point, and then his stock just fell to the ground. Jamal Lewis is saying because they weren't playing in the right system. Was the squad not good enough? Absolutely, the squad stunk. But I look at even Ipswich this season. Yes, they've taken a few thumpings, but overall they've been losing games maybe by 2 goals and here and there. That wasn't the case with Norwich. They were getting absolutely hammered. I know, Demar. I know. Mr. Anthropy is saying here, Spartan Cage, I remember the pundits criticizing his tactic on Sky. Listen, Mr. Anthropy, it's not just pundits. When you actually watch the games, which is what a lot of people haven't been doing when Norwich were in the Prem, they weren't watching. And because people tell me you don't watch other clubs besides Leeds, so some of the tactics employed were just, it wasn't good for the personnel that he had. But Parag, going back to Parag's comments, at the point of when he said it, he probably had the full confidence in Daniel. They had deep conversations about what they want to do, budgets and everything else going forward. Did maybe last year's failure make him look at him a little different, as to say, what happened at the end of this season? Now, I'm trusting you for a second year, But then did other things through the season make him or others in the boardroom have pause for thought? Of course it could have. So that's all I'm saying. I don't hold somebody like I would hate to be held to something I said 2 years ago and expected 2 years later if something had changed for people to go, hey, but you said this 2 years ago. I'll be like, yeah, but things change. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that for me. Tim, listen, I've got a list coming. Tim, he's on my list, Ivan Tony. And the thing is, you know what the problem is as well? What I know I'm going to run into when I do these videos. I know exactly because Connor's coming on this channel to do the end of season review, but he was talking about a name, and it's the same old names that the Leeds United rumors and everything else keep on doing year after year after year, even though we're going up to the Premier League. And it's like, what I'm going to run into is people who go, nah, we can't get these players, man. What are you doing, Cage? No, what we should do is go for Carl Walker-Peters. He's experienced, Cage, and he's free. I know exactly what's going to happen when I mention some of the names. None of the names I'm going to say are going to be unrealistic, but they're going to be ambitious, and they're going to be players that Leeds United can absolutely get. Now, people are going to say about Tim Ivan Toney and the money he's on. Every player that comes back from Saudi, whether they've gone back to England or Turkey, like a few other players, have had their salary reduced. They know what's up. They know they're not going to get 27 million per year in the Premier League. It's not happening. So there, but Tim, we will talk about those no, it's not Ryan Kent. Honestly, I'm going to ban Ryan Kent from this chat, man. Every single week I get Ryan Kent. But shout out to you guys, man. I'm joking. I'm not going to ban the name. It's funny though. For sure, yeah, bring him back. Yeah, just bring him back. Yeah, bring him back. Alioski too. You know what? I say that now, and people are going to go, but Cage, Alioski's on a free, and we could do with his experience. Ugh. But anyway, so moving on. Let's have a look here. Ask about the Premier League. You have to work on the move to the Premier League step by step. I came in to steady the ship, deal with the problems after relegation. I wanted to create value with the squad, built a new group, came close last season, needed a new group for a fresh basement in the Premier League. Well, let me just say this. I know what he's saying here. Well, we don't want to be in the basement of the Premier League, okay? We don't want to do that. So, but I know what he's saying. He means we're going to need a new group to start in the Premier League on the whole. Yeah. Remember that Rodrigo de Paul? No, it's not even names like that, man. It's real vanilla crap names that I would expect to be linked with if we'd stayed in the Championship. If we're going to get anywhere, it can't be some of the names that just keep on getting bandied about. And that's where I change things. That's what's different about this channel for one. Always was. When I was talking about bringing in Coop Miners when we got to the Prem, people like, nah, we got Forshaw, we got Click. Coop Miners was literally there for 12 million euros, man, 12 million. And then he goes Atalanta, and I think he's at Juventus now. You've got to go for these kind of players, man, where there's value and high talent that other clubs haven't gone for. And that's what I'm going to probably be doing. But anyway, let me carry on. Transfer streams are going to be fun this summer. Much more fun than last summer. When I'm having to scrape around and look and see, okay, who would come to the Championship? Oh, I can't stand it. Oh, I'm glad to do Premier League stuff again, man. Yeah. So carry on, Daniel Farke. Surviving in the Premier League is not easy. It's a huge task. Everything has to be spot on. The decision making to achieve this, many things have to come together. A proper budget, improving every department, invest in training ground, invest in squad. Hopefully, many new incomings. And yeah, I mean, listen. He was also asked. I don't know if it's even going to come in on what Baron summarized here, but asked about his tactical plan, which I thought was very funny. In terms of, obviously you're not going to have as much possession and everything else like that, because that's one thing I've noticed people in terms of other managers we've been linked with, they have different tactical plans in and out of possession. That's the one thing I've noticed about pretty much every name we've been linked with. Whereas Daniel Farke, it is a 4-2-3-1 no matter what. Unless we're behind 1-0 with 80 minutes of the game gone, and then it's forwards on, it's pretty much a 4-2-3-1 with no flexibility in the tactical plan. And obviously, going to the Premier League, if you're going to play just two in midfield against Newcastle or against Man City, you're probably going to get killed. So we'll need a 3 in there. So it's going to require different formations, different tactical changes within the game. No matter if you've got a plan from the start and it's not going the way that you thought it would, you can't just keep going with it. You're going to have to change it at some point. And that's what I've noticed with the other managers we've been linked with. Um, but yeah, it is going to be a huge task, man. It's going to be very difficult. He also adds on to that, we need a clear budget, have to decide on who is here with contracts, incomings, need a competitive squad, lots of work ongoing, improvements at training ground, need a strong start with momentum of promotion, need signings early. And I couldn't agree more. He's absolutely spot on. Like I said, we got promoted on the 21st of April. We should be having people ready to sign by the time June the 1st comes. When Christensen's out the door, there should be other players being announced as incomings. That's how we've got to work. We've been promoted with so much wiggle room here, people. 21st of April, you couldn't have asked for more. Well, we could have asked for more, but it's an absolutely brilliant position to be in. And I think there's two transfer windows, isn't there? I think there's two transfer windows in the summer due to the Club World Cup. We should be getting some in that first window and then the second one as well. So yeah, there is work to be done, and we will go through the squad after the season ends. And I'm very interested to get you guys' thoughts at that time of who you think should stay or go. Ryan here saying would love Jonathan David, but very unrealistic. But Ryan, it's not unrealistic. He hasn't signed with anybody, Ryan. And yes, he very well could sign with a Champions League team. Of course he could. He's going to be a free. But there'll also be some clubs where they might and ah far too long. And if Leeds United go in with a plan, this is what we want. This is what we can do for you. These are the clauses and everything else. And by the way, once again, people, all the players signing will have clauses in their contract. They just won't be loan release clauses. They'll be for cash money. All right, cash money. But you could absolutely go for Jonathan David on a free. Who's to stop us? There's players that literally get moved around. Bournemouth getting Kirkesh. Why? How did Bournemouth get him? Now it would be unthinkable for Bournemouth to sign this version of Kirkes, but they got in there first. All it takes is hesitation from those big teams that may have their eye on a couple of other targets, and then you can swoop in and say, this is how much we want you. We believe you could be the difference for us for staying up, and then we want to build on that. You sell them the project, people. That's what it takes. But if you're not going for these kind of players, and you're thinking, oh, let's go back for Che Adams, woo, then we may as well not bother going up. Callum Wendo, he was linked with us before, as we remember. He's doing very well. There are so many options out there, people, and that's the exciting thing about being in the Premier League. They're on the table, and it's not to say that they won't go elsewhere. Remember the whole De Ketelaere thing. Radrizzani was certain that if he had gone in there 2 weeks before, we may have signed him. He ended up going to AC Milan. But that's what you've got to do. You've got to get in there early with these kind of players. And propose your plan. That's how you get these players. Because I've asked this before with a few players that I know. Because I've wondered, you wonder a few things about players, like what's really important, and just two things that just come to mind now. He's talking about the training ground. I got to say, the players that I speak to don't care about the training ground as long as it's competent, and the grass is at a good level and the food's fine. They're good with the training ground. Another thing that I always wondered is, do they really care about international friendlies? And by the way, they do. They actually do. When how we sometimes think, these guys, they don't care about these friendlies. A lot of them take pride in their international call-ups, which I thought they didn't. So fair play to him, man. What's this one? D Parker here saying easier to sell PT. PT. Who's PT? Let me continue though. As a newly promoted club, too, joining Liverpool is fine, but are you going out on loan because you're not playing? Easier to sell PT. Oh, playing time. Yes. Yeah. Now you say it, D Parker. Yeah. Playing time, opportunity, everything else. First of all, you've got the eyes of the Premier League on you anyway. And even though you guys won't want to hear this is the ugly part of football. If Jonathan David was to come here and do really well, he then knows that he's probably going to move on for big money to a Champions League club or something like that. Fortunately, that's the way it is. We can't really look at Jonathan David if we're not progressing and say he's going to be here for 4 or 5 years. It's one of those things where we say, look, and if you do well, we'll put a release clause in your contract for a Champions League club to have you at this amount. That's how you do it, people. And that is the ambition. That's the level of ambition that I'm hoping that we're going for this summer. I will put my names out there after the season's done. But if we're not going anywhere near these kind of players, and it is the same recycled players that we do get, first of all, I'll be very disappointed, but then I will lower my expectations accordingly too. So yeah, let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Yeah. We should. Oh yeah, FEY here. We should have at least 10 to 12 names on the list, as some will not want to come. Oh, absolutely. But you know what, FE, you got to do that at every level, not just Premier League. Especially while we've been in the Championship, we've seen how many have actually rejected us because they don't want to play Championship football. And again, asking players have, honestly, they have zero interest in coming to this league. It's just bad for him on so many levels. I think I've mentioned it before on here, but one player didn't come to the Championship this season, not for Leeds United, but elsewhere, because his boot deal's up at the end of the season. So he wanted to stay as just a Premier League player. And that's it's things that we don't even think about what goes into these kind of things. It's crazy. It's crazy. And Ryan here saying, don't ask, you don't get. Exactly, Ryan. What's the worst that can happen? We get rejected. So what? So what? If we sign a core of players that I think should be at even top 6 Premier League sides, we're a step ahead of pretty much a few clubs down the bottom of the league already. So, and that's what it's going to take, people. It's not going to be signing some of these players that have gone to Ipswich, Southampton, Leicester, and absolutely done nothing, and they've been on big money too. Oh, by the way, Jamie Vardy leaving Leicester, whole legend right there, man, and salute to him. What a legend of the game for me, absolute Prem legend. But DF continued. It was very long. It was very long in regards to this, but we have had lots of conversation. We have lots of conversation in the next 8 days about what is needed over the coming days and months. Big decisions need taken, and just for on that one, people. That's got to be as well, players leaving. And this is where we had problems the last time we got promoted. Up until we got relegated, people, we literally had players in the squad that should have gone when we got promoted. That's something that they've got to get right this time. Let the players enjoy the moment of promotion and everything else like that. But unfortunately, the end of the road is for you here, like boys to men. You can't come with us to the Premier League. Or if you do come, there won't be guaranteed playing time for you. So it's within your best interest to find a new club. It's ruthless. For some of you, it's harsh and cold, but that is how you have to be when you get up to the Premier League. And we didn't do it near enough in the last stint. Tyler Roberts, man. Tyler Roberts. Oh, boy. Bosh. Hailing. Oh, my Lord. Stuart McKinstry making the debut. Oh, it's all mad. It's all mad, people. Learn your lessons. Lee saying here, Hermanson, is it? Yeah, Mads Hermanson. I think that's his name. He's good. Lee, I'd take him as the second choice. I've got other names in mind for the goalkeeper, and they won't be ones that have been bandied about. But yeah, he's a good goalkeeper, though, a solid goalkeeper, and he's kept Leicester. Leicester have been getting their cheeks open this season, but he's been keeping them in games a lot of the time. I know he had a little injury, I think, midway through the season, but he is a good goalkeeper. He is, but I'm hoping that we can just go a step higher. And again, purely because the coaches we've been linked with, pretty much all the coaches that we've been linked with play out from the back. And that's going to be an important thing as well with the goalkeeper that we acquire as well. Man said Anana will be available. Let him stay available. All right, Damar, let him stay available. Right. So, okay, let me get, because this was a long one, people. Not gonna lie, long one. This was just about the Chris Wilder stuff. We covered that yesterday. Banter's banter, people. You've got to have that. Chris Wilder said about Leeds Muppets and Bamford this. He himself said, you know, if I dish it out, I've got to take it. Although we did try and say, I'm not sure about the language of a professional. Chris, we've literally heard you in pubs talk about Sheffield Wednesday's manager with swear words. All right, you're not above anything, but there you go. It's everyone's hypocrisy. All right, everyone is a hypocrite. I always tell you that, but you've got to keep it in the game. I said in the last video about when Stuart Dallas and Liam Cooper did Thomas Frank mind the gap. I was like, oh no, don't do that, man, because. And now look at Brentford. You know, they're laughing at us, but it's good. It's part of the sport, man. It's good. I love that kind of stuff in football. So keep it. Let's keep it. Mike is saying Forest bought in Navas on loan. Would love to get a top keeper like that, even if just for 1 year. Mike, absolutely. They did. That was their first year back as well after, what, 20 odd years out of the Premier League. They literally signed Keylor Navas on a loan. The possibilities are there, people. The possibilities are there, and especially with the money that we generate, we will have a lot of wiggle room when it comes to paying wages as well. And you get what you pay for. It's that simple. And for me, you can't cut corners, especially in a couple of areas that are key in the Premier League, and you have to pay a competitive rate. You protect the club. You protect the club with clauses and everything else in case it goes wrong. Of course, you do that. Not with loan clauses, but other clauses that just protect the club. But you have to go out and shoot for the moon. I'm not saying try and go and get Nico Williams from Bilbao, or try and get back Rafinha. That's obviously not going to happen. But there are players that are playing at other clubs where I still can't believe they haven't been picked up by other teams. But we're going to be in those conversations this summer. Okay. Yeah. No, he's good. He's a good goalkeeper. Yeah, absolutely. Lee here just saying here, big promotion bonuses in the Red Bull Adidas deals. Yeah, and there's going to be more, Lee. There's going to be other. You'll see through the summer, Leeds United have agreed a partnership with so and so, and it's going to be worth so much money purely because we are back in the Premier League. The Red Bull deal alone in the Championship was 60 million for a Championship team. Come on, guys, we got to think bigger, 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 bigger. Get it bigger. Man said, would you take Nunes? I hope you're not talking about that bloody. Oh, you're not talking about Darwin Nunes, SB. Oh, my Lord. Listen, we need somebody who's efficient in front of goal. All right. He just reminds me of being a Uruguayan Billy Painter, man. He's got all the attributes, raw attributes, pace. He's got good movement, but his finishing stinks. And I mean stinks to the highest degree. He's appalling, man. He will find a way to not hit the target. He can be literally in front of the goal and put it by the corner flag. He's awful. So no, I would not take Darwin Nunes, but there's other strikers out there that we can probably that we can get who will be better and more efficient. Michael here, KG, would you do a Forest by bringing in 30-yard players and risk FFP? Not 30, Michael. I wouldn't do that many, but I have no problems with a large turnover of the squad, and we'll get into it at the end of the season. But we've got to recruit right. And listen, there is an argument to say, you know what, if we were to get a 4-point deduction, then you're betting on the team getting as many points as possible for that 4-point deduction, or even maybe 10 to not hurt you. So it is that's a gamble within itself. But no, I think we can still play within the FFP as long as we're selling some players on as well. That's going to be vitally important. We're going to need to move some of these players on. And unlike last time where we were paying players to leave and they were here well beyond their sell-by date, we need to get as much money for them as possible as we bring in new players as well. He is, man. He's Billy. Remember Barn Door Billy? He was awful, man. Awful. Ed is saying here, I think Darwin could do well at Leeds, but Bamford's got to go. I mean, well, that last bit is Darwin, man. He scares me, man. If we was to ever get him, oh man. And the thing is, I know what people are saying, but I'm sorry, there's no point having all those tools to your game. But then the most important thing as a striker is finishing, and he can't finish. And the thing is, he's probably in double figures for Liverpool because it's Liverpool. They create all those chances. So eventually something's going to go in. But there's been games I've seen him play and it doesn't go in. We can't afford that where we're going to be in the league. So, yeah, listen, let me see what else was there. Tell you, this was a long one. Okay, Daniel Farke. I was motivated to prove myself when I was younger. It depends on which team you have. Quality of manager is never defined by a league. That's just not true, by the way. It's not like you can do it in one league and not another. Got to disagree with him on that. That's pretty much that's rubbish because we've seen it previously with whether it be Neil Warnock, Scott Parker before this one. We'll see if Scott Parker's better this time around. But there are managers that are better suited to the Championship, and then when it gets to the Premier League, they try to do the same things that they did in the Championship and get absolutely cooked. There is a difference between leagues. There absolutely is. Much like by the way, and I'll go the other way. I don't think a Pep Guardiola could go to Stevenage if they're still about. Sorry. I don't think he can go there and do the Pep mold to Stevenage. I don't think it would work that way. And Pep has said that's himself when it came to that Leeds team that came up. He said, I could never do what Bielsa did at that team. And I agree. It takes a special kind of coach to do that kind of thing. That's a real coach there, where Pep has got his ideas and he implements them in that way. It works both ways. What else was there? So much, man. So much. Yeah, after this, yeah. We spent 8 million with Norwich and we had a miracle in picking up more points than any of the 3 teams relegated this season. But this is another thing as well, by the way. And he's right with that. That's something he's right about. The point total, someone in the comments, and I can't remember who it was, said to me, we're going to need 40 points. Not with the way the Premier League has been over the last couple of years. We will not need 40 points. I want 40 points, though. Don't get me wrong. But you see him with the point totals. I mean, the total of games that the bottom three have won in total, I think, is 10. They've won 10 altogether over the course of a season, which is an absolutely abysmal record. As a singular team, you need at least 10 wins to have a chance of surviving. So, yeah, the point total will be what it is, but 40 points, you want to get that just because. But I don't even think it will take 40 points next season at the rate it's been over the last couple of years. Yeah, he had a good time Monday night, as he should. And yeah, that's it. That's it for the comments. There really wasn't a lot in terms of the team news or anything that I heard of. If you did hear anything, people, please put them in the comments. Just quickly on this one, we're playing Bristol City, who are in the playoffs. Good side, good team, Bristol City, but they will have playoff ambitions of their own, and they still need a few points to cement a place in the top six. So they'll be highly motivated. This isn't a team coming to Ellen Road with nothing to play for. They'll be looking for a playoff position. So they're going to be highly motivated. Our players will have to match that hunger, because regardless of what it is with the quality of our players, there might be a drop off purely because the job is done. The P is next to our name. We're promoted. And that is that. But what they should want to do, personal pride, get the championship trophy and finish on top and get the 100 points. You know, that'd be a nice little feather in their cap, wouldn't it? So we're gonna have to be on the lookout for Bristol City, be aware of their strengths and everything else like that. But for me, I'm with the team, it's not much, no changes here, people. Let me just put that in there. What's this little fly? Go on. It is Darlow, Bogle, Roden, Ampadu, Junior Firpo for a final appearance at Ellen Road. Let me see how people react to that one. So Oipa here saying here, we'll keep in Farke show a lack of ambition. I think it does. There's an argument for that, Oipa. There is an argument, especially with some of the coaches that are out there, but we shall see how it plays out. I think we'll find out at the end of the season. I don't think we're going to find out before these remaining two games. But yeah, we'll discuss it after. Damar, would you not put Verber in? I would, Damar, but he hasn't played. So if he hasn't played and he's been injured and he doesn't even come on a sub, I think he came on a sub in maybe one of the last couple of games, maybe. There's no point putting him in the starting lineup. He doesn't play. But yeah, Junior Firpo, have a nice little swan song at Ellen Road. Say goodbye. Go on your way to Spain and Turkey. Bye. Because I know a couple of you, yeah, like Sly here, I will give Firpo a contract if Leeds don't. I know a few of you have been saying about Firpo. There's been rumors that he's going to be staying. This is the thing. It just, that gives me nightmares in the Premier League. Junior Firpo, we've seen it just literally recently. I can't even remember the game it was. Was it against Swansea? He's still defensively, he's got no awareness. And he's not going to be putting up the heady numbers in the Premier League that he's done in the Championship. It's not happening. Okay. So if you take away just half of that and you still have his defensive acumen, he's in trouble. So Junior Firpo, leave some doubt in people's heads and saying, I think he could have done it this time. Just leave some doubt. Go back to Spain, go back to Turkey, have a great life. Thank you for promotion. See you later, Junior. See you later, Senior. But bye-bye. All right. Bye-bye. He get rinsed, Damar. The thing is, people are just not thinking. It's so funny to me. People underestimating the quality of winger in the Premier League. I just think of Anthony Gordon alone. Anthony Gordon will absolutely cook Junior Firpo next season if they'd go one-on-one. It'd be embarrassing. You know, Ismail Assar, I don't even rate Sarr like that for Palace. I don't even rate him that highly. But I think he'd do up Junior Firpo. That's what I'm saying, man. He's just not a good defender, man. He's just not. Mike saying here, he'll be remembered fondly if he leaves, not so if he stays. That's what I'm saying, man. Leave on a redemption arc, man. Don't go back to, oh, man, this is the Junior Firpo from the Premier League. He has not improved defensively, people. He hasn't. He's just been in a high possession-based team in Leeds United in the Championship, but he is not a good defender, man. Absolutely not. Yeah, exactly. People forget that, and it would be the same again. Lee's absolutely spot on. He used to get targeted. No matter that Ayling was at right back or even Rasmus, Firpo would be the target because he was good for a yellow card as well. And he's been good for a yellow card in this division too. Uh, it's just them talking with their leaf-shaped hearts and not their mind. It's clear to see. Yeah, Drive saying, KG, you are ruthless. I'm just truthful, Drive. That's it. If that's ruthless, then fair. But I'm just calling it how I see it. I literally, if you watch Premier League football and you can envision Junior Firpo playing there, good on you. But I can't. All right, I can't. Yeah, Max, he finished the story, man. Yeah, let's not do a year later and then someone turns heel on him and then just like slaps him while he's on the floor. Then he loses at WrestleMania. You know, one of those, Max. You know, one of those. Tim saying here he would be good as a winger. I don't think so, man. But fair enough if you think that. I just think it's a higher level. There's better players involved in terms of him trying to get space and create space, get crosses in. It's just a completely different league, man. It's like 10 levels above, at least 10. And he's just not good enough for me in England. I think he'll be good going somewhere else. But we shall see, people. If he signs a new deal, we'll revisit that one. Okay. Gavin here, Cage has gone on longer than Daniel today. I almost have. But we'll wrap it up soon. Tanaka Gruev, yep. I've gone with this front four. I mean, it's not going to happen. Aronson will play, and maybe even Isaac Schmidt would be ahead of Ramazani, but I would love to see this front four. Peru needs to play. I need him to get over 20 goals. By the way, it's not a topic for now, but the fact that these are the top three scorers with this amount, it tells you a lot about the championship. And this isn't being horrible on Joel Peru, because I actually think he should be on a higher goal total. But the fact that, I mean, Boris Sands was away for like 8 games. Josh Brown, who has just taken over Josh Sargent, I think. But boy, I mean, bloody hell. I can't wait until I don't have to speak about this league no more. But yeah, I'd put Ramazani in, Nanto in the middle, Solomon on the left, Peru up front. There you go. So Damar says get Giavogi in there. Yeah, he's another one that's gonna have to say bye-bye in the summer. You've been a great cheerleader. You've been lovely, man. But you seem like a nice guy. But thank you for everything. See you later, mate. But yeah, score predictions. I'm gonna go with. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if we actually draw this game. It wouldn't surprise me just for what's at stake for Bristol City. But I'm gonna go with our quality shining through. And I'm going to go 3-1. 3-1. There we go. 3-1. There we are. So there we are. Sly here saying the Nanto and Bogle connection is real. Yeah, got a good understanding, man. Good understanding. Mike here saying Peru should be on 30 goals. Yeah, he should. He should be. Richard also going 3-1 as well. And he also said Firpo will get roasted in the Premier League. He absolutely would. Gavin going for 4-0. Who's a great clown, but as a footballer? I don't know who you're on about, Misanthrope. Maybe it's Firpo. Will Fear saying Firpo was struggling in the Prem. He's been good for us this season. He has. He needs to leave us with all the good memories. 3-0 on Monday. Salute to you. FE White going with 4-0. But listen, people, put your score predictions below. I think that is it. I'm going to get the poll results up. I haven't forgotten. Let's have a look here. End the poll. Let's end the poll. Here we go. Will Daniel Farke start next season as Leeds United manager? 56% of you say yes, 23% say unsure, and DF will be replaced in the summer. 19% of you think we'll get a new manager. So there you go. There you go. But if you weren't on the live stream and you're watching the replay, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Just a couple more score predictions here. Jason going 2-1, Lee 2-0, Tim 1-0, and John going for a 1-1. But listen, people, that is it. Oh, and the Built 94 3-0. Lovely, lovely. We have gone long today, and I knew I would go long, and because I wanted to get you guys' thoughts in regards to the press conference today. If you haven't already, well, no one has, because the comment section is not open, Cage. Put your thoughts in the comment section below, and yeah, I will see you, if not on the weekend for anything in terms of what's maybe on my mind in terms of recruitment. I will see you after the game Monday. The link should be one of these two corners. Set your reminder, like the video so you can join me after the game against Bristol City, and we'll talk about the result then. People, enjoy your weekend. Peace out.